everyone, it's me, Miles, with Team 2635, Lake Monsters, and today I'll give you a short introduction on CAD. We will be going over the what, who, and why of CAD. I'll explain a couple of softwares, then we'll end the video with a short demonstration. So, you might be asking yourself, what is CAD? Well, CAD stands for Computer-Aided Design, and it does exactly that. CAD softwares are programs that help you see designs on computers, which is basically allowing you to see objects in a three-dimensional space, and CAD is used to help design things like airplanes, homes, and you guessed it, robots. So, who exactly uses CAD? Well, CAD is used by engineers of all types, architects, artists, and even project managers, but in short, designers. So, why should you use CAD? Well, CAD allows for easier prototyping, and it's cheaper because you don't have to make a bunch of models. They're all digital. And it's also faster because, as you'll see, it's pretty fast to create these models. And it's easy to share designs since they're all digital, and that also makes it easy to collaborate with others. And since it's digital, it's easy to modify parts, as you will see. So, two big softwares are Fusion 360 and Inventor. Fusion 360 is great because it runs on both Mac and PC, which cannot be said for Inventor, which is PC only. Fusion is used by both industry professionals and hobbyists. It's great for 3D printing. And there are a bunch of great tutorials both built into Fusion and online, and the same thing goes for Inventor. Now, I would recommend starting out with Fusion if you're going to. It's going to be easier than Inventor. There's a lot of stuff in Inventor that you probably won't use starting out, so it would be less intimidating to start with Fusion. But if you really like to challenge yourself, go with Inventor. There are a bunch of great tutorials online and in Inventor as well to help you. And both of these programs, depending on your school, you might be able to get them for free, so I would definitely check that out. But what I'll be showing you in this video is Sketchup. Now, the reason I like Sketchup is because it's free, and it's web-based, so you don't have to download anything, and you just sign in with a Google account. And there's some tutorials in there. There are tutorials online, and I will be showing you a demonstration shortly. Here we are. I just searched Sketchup Web, and this is what it will take you to. Now, you can either enter your email or select your Google account, which is what I'm going to do, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, so here we are. I just signed in, and this is what I get. Now, normally you wouldn't see anything here, but I've been doing some work. So first thing we're going to do is go to Create New, and you'll see this pop up. I'm going to select feet and inches. And then we'll wait for it to load, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so here we are in SketchUp, and this is what it looks like when you boot up the program and get onto a new sketch. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to know how to do is to know how to navigate this. And this is your select tool. This is obviously an eraser. And here's something that you'll see. SketchUp has pop-up bars, and in them are more than one thing. For instance, this is paint and sample. And we'll ignore that, we'll get to that later. And these are drawing tools, freehand drawing, and this is a line tool. We've got some different arc tools, rectangles, and geometry. Extrude tools, some other tools, move tools, measurement stuff. We can walk around and look, and this is our navigation tools. So, and then on the right-hand side here, we've got different menus that'll tell you different things. So that's just entity infos, outliner. This is something if you want to know how to use a tool, you click on this, and then something else. So if I go to line, it's going to tell me everything about the line tool. This is components, so I could search for something here, and if other people have made it, you could find it and place it in your own model. We've got materials, so if I wanted to paint something, this is where you'd go. You can change the style, so if you want, for instance, if this loads a different style, you could change it here. We've got some other stuff. Scenes, you could navigate using this as well, or you could create pictures here. This is just some visibility stuff, so if you want to turn on or off anything, this is how you do it. For instance, we could turn on shadows if we wanted to. And then if you don't close a window, it stays open, so you have to click on the X here for them to actually disappear. And this is just some more model info, like if I wanted to change this into millimeters, or I could change precision, turn off snapping, and that's about it. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how to do a simple house. So what we're going to do is we're going to first start with a line. You either go to here, or if you tap L, you'll come up to here. And then this is just the basic starting place. You got a couple axes. You got the blue one, which is, I'm pretty sure, the Y. No, it's the Z. And we've got the X and Y. But as we're kind of stuck in this view right now, so we need to know how to move around. So to do that, we'll go to the Orbit tool, and we can select Orbit. And now, if I press the left mouse button and drag, so you can see we move around. And to zoom in and out, and this could be done in anything, you just use the scroll wheel. And as you can see, in the bottom left, we've got different options. We could click Shift, and now we can pan around, or we could hit Control and suspend gravity, which that just kind of allows you to do things like that. So let's go back to our line tool, and we could draw a line, another one, and another one, and that'll create, as you can see, this box here. When this is shaded in, that means that this is a solid, and we can do different things with solids, as you'll see in a minute. But that was 4 lines. I mean, that's kind of a lot of steps, so we could save ourselves some time by using a different tool. Now, if you're on Select, and you click the left mouse button, you could drag, and as you'll see, that selects everything. And we could go into here and click Erase, or if you hit the Delete key, it'll do that as well. So we're actually going to create a rectangle. So we could either come into Rectangle and choose one of these options, or, let's see, and the shortcut for Select is Space. If we click R, it'll automatically bring up a rectangle. And as you can see, we create a rectangle through here. Now, we can actually change the size of this rectangle. We're not limited to just dragging. As you can see in the bottom right corner, there's a box named Dimensions. And as you can see, this changes as I move. So let's just create a simple 10 by 10 square. Okay, so if we type in 10 and then apostrophe for feet, comma, 10, what that's going to do is that's going to go 10 feet out in both the X direction and the Y direction, and when I hit Enter here, you'll see it creates 10 by 10. Now we can check that it's 10 by 10 by going over to here and selecting Tape Measure, or T, and we can drag this out to the end point there. That green means the end point, and we can see that the length in the bottom right is 10 feet. Now let's double check in the other direction. It's also 10 feet. Okay, perfect. So now what we need to do for a house is we need walls. And so we could either make another rectangle and somehow size it differently, but that's going to be a pain. Or we could come over to the Offset tool. We could select, as you can see, that's saying the little dots mean selecting that shape. We click once, and you can see we could size it here. Now, let's make our walls. Let's say 10, and then quotations for inches, and hit Enter. And now create an offset of 10 inches. Now, this is currently a 2-dimensional shape, and we need to make it a 3-dimensional shape. So what we're going to do is come over to the same menu where we got the Offset tool, and select Push Pull, otherwise shortcut P. And as you can see, it's selecting, we can select either the inside or the outside. For this case, we want to select the outside. And the push and pull tool works as like an extrusion tool. As you can see, I can drag up and that'll bring the walls up to create a three-dimensional shape, or we could go down. In this case, we want to go up. And let's say we want to make this, I don't know, let's keep it the theme of 10. So 10 feet. Enter. Ooh, but when we look at this and we decide that that's too tall, well, we could either do it again, or... Okay, so if we select the top here, and now, as you can see, it's going downwards. So let's say we want to make the walls 8 feet tall, so we're going to subtract 2 from 10, like that, and enter. And we can confirm that this is correct by going back to our tape measure, drawing up, and yep, they're 8 feet tall. So now what we need on the house is a door. Now to do that, we've got a couple different options. We could do a rectangle, we could create lines. So I'm going to do it with, first, I'm going to plot out a place for my door. So I'm going to select the edge here. And as you can see, it's creating a guideline right now that's currently 11 inches away from that edge. Now I can drag this out. And same thing like the other tools, if I type in, I would say 4 feet. It'll create 4 feet in. But that seems kind of big. Let's go, I don't know, let's go 2 feet. Then I'm going to go over to the rectangle tool. I'm going to select this intersection. So that's the intersection between the floor and this guideline. And let's make our doorway. Let's make it 3 feet, 7 feet. And there we go, there's our door. And now, just like the walls, we could actually create cuts with the push-pull feature as well. So if I go 10 inches, click, there we go, now we got ourselves a door. And we could do the same thing if we want to go with a window. So let's go back to our tape measure. Let's go, I don't know, let's say a foot. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the window off the ground. So I'm going to use the tape measure again to create another guideline for the bottom of the window. And let's make it, let's say 3 feet. And then if I go back to the rectangle tool, click on that intersection. And let's see, let's make it 3 by 3. So there we go. Go to our push-pull tool. And we're going to go to the, what you can do is if you click on, if I move the push-pull tool over to the edge of the doorway, it'll also create the cut at the same distance. So if I do that, and as you can see, there's now a hole there as well. And now let's create a roof for our building. But first, let's clean up our workspace a little bit. So I can just click on these lines, click delete, and we'll do that with all of these. Or what I can do is in view, I can click this, delete all guides, and they're gone. Alright, we'll close that up. And then we'll get our tape measure again. And let's put a roof in the midpoint. So let's go out until we see the blue dot, which means the midpoint. That'll be 5 feet. And let's see, let's make our roof, I don't know, let's make it 1.5 feet tall. So we can either do like this, 1 feet, 6 inches, or if you just click 1.5 feet, it'll automatically do that for us, as we can see here. Alright, now we're going to create a line going to the edge here, and same thing to the other edge. And to make this all one shape, we could delete the center line, and now it recognizes that as a one shape. Let's get rid of our guideline, and then we'll work around to the back of the building so we can see better. And then we're going to pull out the push-pull tool. We're going to select the triangle that we just made, and we're going to go all the way up until we run into this face, in which you can see it'll snap it onto there and create the whole roof. There we go. And now we're going to have the finishing touches to our building, so let's create some windows. So first, let's create some glass for our windows, actually. Let's first go to the rectangle. This might seem kind of counterintuitive, but we're going to actually cover up the window. And if we go over to the paint bucket here, go here, and then if I can move this, we could go to the search tool here. Wait for this to load. And then we can scroll down to glass and mirrors, open that up, and then let's use this color. So if we now left click, we can see we actually get, even though there's a rectangle there, it's now a see-through rectangle, and we can see inside the building, not much there. And we can do the same with the rest of our house. So let's see, let's go to roofing and pick something. Scroll around so we can see the top, and then left click. I said left click. Oh, there we go. But if we decide we don't like it, we could say, let's select this one now. And if we just left click over it, we should be able to change the color there. Perfect. And you could close these by just doing that. It makes it a little bit less cluttered. And then, what do we want to do for, let's select this, and then this material. Then I could click here, and drag around and do it on all of these sides. And we can do up here to it. Let's do the brick stuff. Let's do this roof stuff as well. Might not be the most realistic, but there we go. And we can even do that inside, so if we want to put some hardwood down, we could select any of these, and there we go. And we could also just select colors if we want to. If we go out to here, or there's a color tab, missed that. We've got all these different colors. Let's see, let's go with this yellow. And then if we zoom, and then click orbit, you can kind of move around in here. It's kind of hard to do it with these structures, but it's doable when we're currently in a window. And then escape, paint. Then go ahead and close this up. And here we go, we got ourselves a nice little house. Well, this might not be Pritzker Prize winning material, but this is a basic house. And with a little bit of experience, you could create something that looks like this. Well, that's going to be all, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please do consider learning some sort of CAD. It's very useful if you're going into, especially if you're going into a design job. It's really not that hard. It'll save you time in college, and it looks good on a job resume. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and goodbye.